Yours truly just completed 54 years. Since 1987, for the past 33 years I have been working as an individual contributor and currently working as a principal engineer at Cisco. For me, why this is working is because right from the beginning I have been involved in product development and continue to do so. So far more than half a dozen products have been sold worldwide where I had played a major role in the development. In other cases I have been an individual contributor developing some key components of the overall product or application. For example, in one of my previous companies, Apogee Sanoa, they needed XML parser, Apache Xerces, XPath processor, Apache JXPath, and XML schema validator, Apache Xalen. Due to licensing issues we could not use the Apache components. Hence they had to be developed in-house, and I as an individual contributor successfully developed all the three components in C, and then helped to port them to Java. Just wanted to provide enough details that could help share my thoughts. You could get complete details in my LinkedIn profile. 1. Let us consider few popular names of software engineers. Linus Torvalds, creator of Linux and Git. Dave Cutler, well known for creating operating systems like VAX VMS, Windows NT. I have heard that in the early 90s, at Microsoft he used to develop not just one but several device drivers on a daily basis. Kernighan and Ritchie, popular for inventing C programming language. Bjarne Stroustrup, inventor of C++. James Gosling, inventor of Java. Martin Fowler, well-known software engineer, consultant and author. This is just a small subset. The main point is all of them are software engineers par excellence and continued their passion well beyond the age of 45. Now let us consider other professions such as scientists, mathematicians, astronomers, surgeons, etc. Don't we find them intensely practicing their profession until their retirement? For example, if we consider surgery, how do we feel to go under the knife where each surgeon has less than 10 years of experience when compared to being operated by somebody who has more than 15 years of experience? In the above instances we see that the professionals are passionately engaged in their professions who are well beyond the age of 45. In the first example, they are all software engineers. Then how come only in India and in the mind of Indian software engineers arises this question: is there any Indian software engineer on this platform who is above 45 and still comfortably working in the IT industry? In my view the answer lies in the quality of work we do. I noticed that for quite long we have been involved in BPO, application development for a particular client, on-site deployment of engineers, maintenance of existing applications, working with legacy applications, Y2K, etc. We have never been involved in development of high-quality products that are used worldwide or components used by users in the order of hundreds of thousands if not millions. At last, it is nice to see the emergence of indigenous e-commerce companies on the landscape competing with the likes of Amazon. When involved in high-quality software work, it is highly creative, innovative, challenging, most interesting and fully satisfying. When intoxicated by such an experience one would not want to trade it for anything and would love to continue such an indulgence for as long as possible. In such a case work is not considered as work. Instead work becomes play. At the same time one need not become workaholic and sacrifice quality time with the family. We do not live to eat but eat to live. In the same way, we do not live to work but work to live. After paying my dues by burning midnight oil during the early formative years, for the past 26 years I have never worked beyond 6 p.m. I strongly believe that working beyond office hours on a regular basis is a sign of inefficiency, which could be due to maybe I am trying to bite more than I can chew, not being diligent enough and overcommitting, overestimating my skill set, underestimating the work, etc. It is not only me, I also insist that all my team members also to leave the office and not work beyond normal office hours. The thinking behind this is not understood by many idiots who happen to be in senior technical positions as well as among many managers and directors. Once a senior person was full of praise for a particular software engineer. I asked him for the reason for his appreciation. His answer was that particular engineer is very sincere and hard-working, always seen logged in online even at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the night. I was aghast because I firmly believe that a person should be judged only by the amount and the quality of the work produced. Period. His reason for appreciation made me go uncontrollably berserk ROFL because not only this senior person's life is messed up as in the midnight 2 a.m. he is checking who is online, many of us would be staring at divorce if we consistently do that slightly smiling face, he is also ensuring that several other people's life are also messed up by encouraging and appreciating them working at odd and obscene hours. Of course, in case of an emergency we should respond, but it should be more of an exception rather than being the norm. I come from a school which believes that people should work in a highly concentrated manner during office hours and after that they should be free to do whatever they want to do with their private time, have a great family life and more importantly have a good, adequate and peaceful sleep in the night. The environment should be such that every morning the engineers are eager to jump out of their bed to show up at work as everybody is fresh, bubbly, enthusiastic and hungry to go for the jugular of the problem at hand with extreme confidence that they have the support of senior engineers who are experts, always available and eager to help when approached. How to determine whether I am doing high-quality software work or not? If I am easily replaceable by another person or by adding few more people, then I am not doing high-quality work. Managements just love if a person is replaceable. In my opinion, a person is replaceable means no matter how much the person is skilled and dedicated but unfortunately has been working as a technical white-collar laborer. This is no different than a skilled welder, machinist, construction worker, etc. Labor is considered as a resource and one person can be substituted by another person without affecting the productivity or output in any serious way, and managements love this. It is not that a skilled software engineer is inferior to somebody who can deliver creative and innovative software designs. This world has a place for every single person and every type of skill. This articulation is about when does somebody continue to be in the software technical side even after the age of 45 years. Now for a moment consider replacing Linus Torvalds by 100 people, 500 or 1000. Is it possible? This phenomenon does not apply only to the most famous. At every level we can find such people. So-called famous people also had to pass through this level. It is about carving a niche for ourselves because we love what we are doing and hence acquired, developed and sharpened our skills due to our own passion, perseverance and relentless efforts. According to me, developing creative ability is about grasping the fundamentals right, such as data structures and algorithms, OS fundamentals, OOP paradigms, parsers and compilers, database usage and optimizations, etc. It is never about keeping abreast with the latest and greatest technologies that are emerging at a rapid pace. Though knowing about them never hurts and is indeed encouraged, one can always get to the bottom of the entire technology stack when they need to be used. If the fundamentals are sound, then anything could be learned in a jiffy on an as-needed basis. By fundamentals, I mean those software concepts that were true several decades ago, true, valid and applicable in the present and will remain true in the future also. The technologies might come and go but the fundamentals never change. None can better illustrate the importance of software fundamentals than one of the worst software bugs in the history, the explosion of Ariane 5, the explosion of an unmanned rocket of European Space Agency on June 4, 1996. The rocket, built over a decade costing $7 billion, went up in flames within 40 seconds of its takeoff, and the cause was due to a silly software error called overflow error of a 16-bit integer. In my opinion, it takes around 5 years to be firmly grounded on software fundamentals. That's when one gets qualified to learn, admire and absorb the artistic beauties of software engineering from the experts such as Fred Brooks, John Bentley, Andrew Koenig, Steve McGuire, Scott Myers, Mark Allen Weiss, Bill Zolik, Joshua Block, Michael Stonebrecher, Jim Gray, etc. to name a few. If one is fortunate and gets a chance to work with talented seniors, then a lot can be learned by studying and understanding their work. I have painstakingly mentioned several names because I have learned a lot from reading and rereading their books and have been immensely benefited from them in shaping my career. Just to toss in a touch of spice of fun, I think there is a great joy in reading the numbers, algebra and physics books of Yakov Perelman and a series of 4 volumes on the art of playing chess by Yasser Serawin. When I came back to India in mid-1997 and started consulting for several local companies, I was horrified to notice that at many places people with hardly 5 years of experience are made as managers, thereby depriving the team of a most productive resource and instead providing the team with a lousy and an inexperienced manager. If managerial line is the career path one wants to pursue, then it is okay. But making people believe that it is the only right path is misplaced and blissfully misses the opportunity of mastery and artistry the software design offers, and the chance to completely and precisely express elegant and creative designs in the form of code that can be made to look like a poetry. Do not believe me? Please take a look at the source code of any JDK class such as hashmap, list, executor, etc. The bottom line is, if one likes the managerial role and does not want to continue as a mundane software technician fixing bugs, day after day executing the tasks from the backlog, working in customer tech support team, etc., then it makes sense to pursue the career in the managerial line. But if somebody is highly passionate and motivated to welcome new and difficult challenges on a regular basis, derives pleasure in providing elegant and working solutions every single time, then that person would not want to trade such a job in a million years for anything. Such creative people understand that the entire managerial team is nothing but a support staff who are supposed to clear any hurdles and facilitate the development of working, creative and innovative software. If the quality of the software is worthy enough to be sold, then the great marketing brains could go to work and safely and successfully ensure that the organization's revenues and profits soar. The creative people understand that they are not only producing creative work but also are creating and securing many different kinds of jobs all around them, and not the other way around. If one is enjoying such a great technical life, then one would not want to give that up until retirement, continuing well beyond the age of 45 years. Kosik, thanks for the A2A. Apart from my software profession, I am very passionate about Advaita Vedanta. If you want to read about Advaita concepts explained in a modern scientific way, please do visit my blog Mahavakya Viveka. Edit 1. There was a comment urging me about disclosing my CTC. IMHO. If anybody is solely interested in CTC and salary, then they can't belong to the Creative League. Having said that, one can't be foolish not to understand one's own worth. It is utter inefficiency if one does not negotiate properly to get compensated appropriately. Here the credit goes to Microsoft, being the very first company for making thousands of millionaires sheerly due to their technical competencies through not only their salaries but also through stock options or ESOP. This tradition is now widely followed by most of the companies and startups. But if you clearly understand my point and what Kosik also mentioned in his comments, it just pales away when compared to the dopamine high you get in delivering, working, and quality software if it gets widely used and highly appreciated by the users. Money is bound to follow if the work talks, irrespective of which field you are in. It is quite satisfying to get compensated appropriately for the technical skills we bring, and it gives a much more greater high in mentoring and enabling the juniors and elevating them to belong to the same league.